This was the moment Pavel Filatyev cut ties with Russia, tearing up his military ID and Russian passport, flushing them down a toilet in an airport bathroom in Paris. A few weeks later, this former paratrooper met with us to tell his story and share his disgust with a military he's risking everything to expose.
И у меня постоянно стала возникать мысль навязчивая, что
I kept thinking obsessively that literally, if I survived, I would do everything to stop it, to change something.
How do you cope with that, knowing that, there could be somebody out there looking for you?
Ну, я не хочу, конечно, умереть, но
I don't want to die, of course, but I'm not going to think about it every minute and not leave now and do what I want to do.
Filatyev was part of a military regiment that invaded Kherson, Ukraine in the early hours of February 24th. But even just a day before the equipment rolled in, he said soldiers were being misled about why they were there.
Our regiment commander made us line up and said, "Stop spreading gossip. Stop calling home talking nonsense. I'm telling you, there are 3 more days of training and then you'll all be home."
He said he only realized Russia was attacking Ukraine after an order came down for his unit to destroy a bridge. In a manifesto he later posted to social media, he described the disarray on the battlefield, a Russian military equipped with patriotism instead of good training, support, and modern technology. He wrote some soldiers began to shoot themselves to get the government money and get out of this hell. Filatyev posted his journal in August, 3.5 months after he was evacuated from the war zone because of an eye infection. The scathing remarks meant it was only a matter of time before he would be arrested, so he fled to France.
It's a new life for him, which has a good side because he will have a protection in France. But it's also a long road because it's not easy to change your life.
And certainly not easy to speak out against a military he was part of.
But I say this, Russia has now been captured by some kind of mafia.
For now, he's trying to claim asylum and settle into his new life, but hopes one day a change of regime could allow him to return to Russia.
Briar, what more do we know about how he actually fled Russia?
Well, Filatyev decided he had to leave Russia because he learned there was an indictment that was issued for his arrest and he was likely going to be charged with discrediting the armed forces. And that's a charge that people had already been sent to prison over in Russia. So he contacted other Russian dissidents who had left Europe. They helped him with the logistics. He wouldn't disclose his exact route, but he did say at one point he ended up in Tunisia, where he was basically questioned by security services there for a number of hours. When he arrived in France, he was detained because he didn't have the proper visa, but he retained a lawyer and he's now applying for asylum.
Incredible story. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Brian.